That vision of a brighter future starts with what we decide right now, what we do here today.
At Enactus UK, we strive for innovation, diversity and collaboration.
The time for change is now. This decision is immediate.
At Immediate, we brew truly sustainable carbonated beer by using surplus bread that will end up in landfill. We are not a project. We are a certified social enterprise, and we believe that combating global warming is one of the most urgent missions of our lives.
The evidence of our climate crisis is overwhelming. Carbon emissions continue to spew into the atmosphere, and many nation states are neglecting the crisis.
Food waste is a significant contributor to these issues. If food waste were a country, it'd be the third largest emitter of CO2. In the UK alone, 14 million tonnes of CO2 emissions are produced from food waste annually. This is the same as the emissions produced in 4.5 million flights between England and Perth in Australia.
Bread is one of the highest contributors to food waste. 20 million slices of bread are thrown away every day in the UK. To offset this, 14,500 trees would have to be planted on a daily basis, enough to cover 48 soccer pitches. It is therefore not a surprise that Sustainable Development Goal 12 has been identified as the worst performing in the UK.
But there is still time to make real change. We can all be responsible consumers, even when we relax with a glass of beer.
But why beer?
Beer is a mass market consumer product, with 3.9 billion litres consumed in the UK in 2019. Contributing to 45 million tonnes of CO2 emissions.
This is why we're creating a delicious and carbon-negative beer brand, and brand that also educates consumers on how they can personally make a positive impact on our planetary problems. Everything starts with our approach. Our manifesto includes 9 pledges, which are the foundation of our business model, a guiding principle that we at Immediate live by.
Our 9 pledges include using locally sourced ingredients from within a 320-kilometre radius of our breweries, using surplus bread to replace approximately 1/3 of our grains, and selling within 30 kilometres for our kegs and 320 kilometres for our cans. We use bicycles to deliver our kegs and, where possible, electric vehicles to deliver our cans. To extend our impact, we're expanding our local distribution hubs across the UK. This allows us to maximise our growth while staying true to our values. Our production process actively minimises the use of single-use plastic and is zero waste. All byproducts from the brewing process are converted to biofuel or animal feed, and our cans are made from recycled aluminium. All of our cardboard packaging is FSC approved, using at least 80% recycled materials, and all of our printing is consciously done using water-based ink. We track all of our emissions and share these with our customers.
The journey of immediate production starts with the collection of the surplus bread from local bakeries and supermarkets. From there, it gets delivered to our partnered breweries, where it's transformed into a refreshing pale ale. We provide our beers through e-commerce and local partners, such as pubs and other local businesses, to provide regular stock, as well as subscription box companies. From there, our warehouse manager ensures all the orders are ready to be dispatched to our customers for next day delivery.
We launched our first beer back in January 2020, selling over 500 pints in the first day and our entire stock in the first 36 hours. Since then, we have adapted and evolved our business to meet the challenges imposed by the pandemic. Capitalising on this, we moved from kegs to cans to ensure that our customers, unable to visit the pubs, were still able to enjoy our beer. By leveraging our partnerships across the UK, we have been able to make a sustainable, positive impact. We have been able to build a robust supply chain that has redistributed more than 4.1 tonnes of food and supplied over 10 pubs. This is supporting our local economy and creating employment opportunities for local people. We have also developed our new e-commerce channels to provide 15,000 cans of beer to hundreds of customers. Each pint we sell saves 160 grams of CO2 from being emitted into the atmosphere. Across our entire supply chain, the impacts multiply, enabling us to save over 14,000 tonnes of CO2. Our projections show that over the next 5 years, this equates to over 8.5 million tonnes, the equivalent of over 4,000 trees.
But it's not only bread that contributes to the UK's food waste crisis.
Every day across the UK, supermarkets throw away tons of fresh produce. For the 8.4 million individuals who live in food poverty in the UK, this is the difference between going hungry or feeding their family.
By working with local schools, we identified the most vulnerable pupils that no longer had access to free school meals due to the pandemic. Many of these children come from low-income households and struggle with unbalanced diets, lacking vital nutrients fundamental to their development.
Through our mystery bag scheme, we provide fresh produce to those students and families most in need by repurposing the waste stock from supermarkets into bags consisting of 10 to 15 staple ingredients. Using a buy one give one scheme, we were able to supply 60 families with nutritional food baskets on a weekly basis for 3 months during our national lockdown. We provided ingredients for almost 9,000 meals, resulting in 3.8 tons of food redistributed and a further 12 tons of CO2 emissions saved. But more importantly than this, we provided 60 families access to nutritious food, many of which without our bags would have become another number in another statistic of people accessing a food bank in the UK.
But none of this would have been possible without the help of our volunteers.
Volunteering at Immediate has allowed me to take valuable business knowledge that has helped me impact my community positively. I've also noticed changes in my behaviour and attitudes towards climate change.
Through the experience gained with us, all of these volunteers secured full-time work. Due to our commercial success, we have directly hired a warehouse manager and supported the employment of 21 individuals throughout our supply chain. We are currently working with government organisations and another Enactus UK team to further identify and employ vulnerable youths in our area.
We know that if we are to tackle climate change together and for our efforts to not be in vain, we must educate the younger generation to continue the changes we are implementing.
This summer, we actively engaged 200 children in climate change courses to empower them to make impact in the day-to-day lifestyles.
Our strong business principles provide a solid foundation for us to innovate and create a sustainable, positive impact for people, planet and prosperity. This resulted in a rebranding from Future Brew to Immediate to ensure that our customers know that we are taking immediate action to make a change now. Since our rebrand, we have experienced an increase in sales as a result of customers resonating with our mission, allowing us to further our social and environmental impact.
But it is not only our customers we want to encourage to take action. We want those that we partner with to develop their practices and change their behaviour to help achieve our mission of a cleaner future. Imagine if every pint brewed in the UK in 2019 was produced using our principles. We would have offset 1.2 million tonnes of CO2.
Everybody's focused on sustainability now. Everyone's a lot more aware of it, so you have to take it on board and look at what you are doing as a company and what you can do as a company to improve it.
My name's Sean Larson and I'm a leisure venue and bar owner here in Southampton. We've stocked Immediate for a little while now, and what we've found that really resonates with customers is when the bartenders and when our staff know the story about it being carbon negative and being sort of a sustainable alternative, when they the customers of that story, it really triggers something in the customers.
We recognise that no organisation, including us, can have a long-term sustainable impact without applying a sound business model and having a secure revenue stream. Which is why this year we secured 3 angel investors in a seed funding round, giving us a valuation of £220,000. This helped increase the external visibility and credibility of our company, resulting in interviews with international media such as the BBC. To date, we have $124,600 confirmed revenue in the pipeline, accumulating $41,400 in profit, demonstrating that profit doesn't have to come at the expense of our planet. Built upon our business principles, our strong financial showing is only set to grow, with major corporations interested in stocking our product.
But we don't want our growth to only benefit Immediate. And that's why we reinvest 10% of our profits into climate positive projects, both locally and internationally, enabling us to create a measurable, lasting improvement for the benefit of future generations. Through this reinvestment, we have already collaborated with a team from Enactus India and built a 300 square metre aquaponic system that is revolutionising agricultural practices across their local area. This is helping farmers to combat the serious effects of climate change and crop yield, helping to fulfil their lives socially and economically, reducing the prevalent urban-rural inequality. Our system is currently growing 300 kilograms of produce and is capable of supporting 14,400 plants and 1,600 kilograms of fish at full capacity, generating a yearly revenue of £14,300.
We are planning to expand operations to 2 UK cities, Bristol and Brighton, by introducing 3 more breweries in our supply chain by the end of 2021. We are forecasting 50,000 cans in sales by the end of 2021, with a stock list of over 30 locations. For many companies, expansion comes at the cost of sustainability. But for us, sustainability is at the heart of our expansion. This means more awareness, more CO2 emissions saved, and more lives impacted, all while replicating a community-focused business model built on leveraging local partnerships to minimize global logistical emissions. By the end of 2023, we aim to be operating in 4 countries, inhibiting the emissions of 8.5 million tons of CO2 and supplying over 19 million pints per month, resulting in monthly sales of £2.8 million.
We could tell you about the 14,000 plus tonnes of CO2 we've already saved, the 20 plus people's lives we've already directly impacted, or the thousands of pints we've already sold.
But our focus is not what we have achieved in the past.
What's important is the action we will take from here, the people's lives we are yet to impact, the CO2 we are yet to save.
But we cannot act alone.
We are part of a bigger motion of change, uniting with companies to fight for a better future.
No one can do everything, but everyone can do something.
The only question that remains is, what will you do in 2030, next year, today?